Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Summit Europe, powered by Twitch. I'm LD, and I'm joined here by Fogged. Fogged, well, Mousesports, they're not actually qualified for the International, but they are playing a lot better than some teams that are, and they look dominant. They've now taken 3 games in a row versus Fnatic. 2 games yesterday in the winner bracket semifinal, and then again today in the grand finals. They're off to a good start with a 1-0 lead.
And they're playing really good. Like, I mean, okay, not playing really good, but they're just, controlling the game. They're just comfortable. Their draft is just really, really strong, which lets them make mistakes. Like I was saying before, they can make mistakes, and they're still gonna end up winning the games. And yeah, we do see, like, they overall shown how much of a stronger team they are compared to Fnatic at this point.
I think that's like the worst game I've seen out of Mouse in 2 or 3 weeks, honestly. Yeah. And they still won because the draft was solid enough to carry them through.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, overall, like there wasn't any shining plays. I think probably the best player in that game was either Pycat or MSS. MSS landed some nice ravages, but a few of the times he did put his team into some sticky situations. Yeah,
it just seemed like Mouse had not played much against Undying lately or since the changes, and does seem quite a bit stronger. But with that being said, guys, Game 2's underway. The draft's getting going. Let's get into it. So this game, Mousesports will be, I keep on wanting to call them Dog, especially because they've chosen Doggy Team.
I see Doggy Team. Yeah, I see Doggy Team.
Well, at least they're not a 5 stand-ins now. I suppose that's something.
Yeah, it's something. They're all dogs. But
they're all woof woof. That's such a good name too. Like, I'm kind of sad they have a boring old Mousesports.
LD, you're killing me here.
Sorry, buddy.
Whatever.
Yeah, you can't.
I qualified. I'm in.
They haven't even qualified for TI
yet. Yeah, they haven't, and they have a much harder shot. They really do. I mean, I felt like the NA qualifiers were not the hard. Like, I mean, people look and they're like, "Oh, it's super easy," but some of these teams were really overlooked. But you know what?
It wasn't as bad as people said, but it's still not as strong as some of the other qualifiers.
That's for sure. I mean, you look at the EU qualifiers, they actually have quite a run to do. Like, they could drop games to almost any of those teams, but they have to just play really well. And now looking at this game right away, Fnatic's got the first pick, and Mouse right away, they ban the Wisp. They don't want to deal with it, and they don't want to deal with Darks either, because you know what? We've been seeing that hero come back with a vengeance, and he's been dominating games.
Yeah, Trixie plays a really solid Darkseer. Occasionally, he goes into feed mode, but generally, he plays very solid.
When doesn't Trixie go a little bit into feed mode?
You have to, like, just give them a taste, you know? You give them a taste one game, then they think you're in feed mode, and they want to keep on going after you, and you punish them.
I mean, Fnatic also right away, they just don't want to deal with that AA. I mean, I've seen Mouse drafted. Every time it's there, they pick it. I'm almost positive they pick it.
It just makes they always win their trialing when they have H apparition, because the setup hero doesn't matter. There's Rubik, there's Bane, there's Shadow Demon. Like, they get one of the 3, and then they just get some ranged right clicker, be it Weaver, who works really well with H apparition, or Mirana as the 2 main ones. And it seems clear Fnatic want to deny not only the Ancient Apparition, but also that whole style of play, the Mirana trialing, which has been very effective for Dog. So they will pick the Mirana for themselves.
Yeah, and I mean,
but they've given away Batrider to Dog, as well as very strong blading support.
Yeah, I mean, Batrider is, even though he's taken so many hits, he's gotten so many nerfs, that's still, I think that hero's just still first pick. Absolutely. He's just so insane. You kill him. You grab someone, you kill them instantly. Like, the Shadow Demon has to be on point with his disruptions. I mean, I don't really feel like it's too hard for the Shadow Demon, but if you're not paying attention and you're not just focused on using it, you're gonna miss the opportunities to save your teammates if they get lassoed. And wow, Fnatic going for some greedy stuff right now, right away. They have this Mirana Shadow Demon, so they're securing one lane with that. They go for the Furion for Trixie, and then they go for this Enigma, which is very weird because the Rubik's already picked up for Team Dog, so a bit of a strange pick there for Fnatic, just picking into that. But
they love to go for Fly's Enigma, and I remember talking to No-Tail about this at Starladder. He basically said, "Man, sometimes it really sucks playing support on my team because it's like we have 4 farmers. You've got Fly playing slightly greedy junglers, and end of the day, it puts so much pressure on No-Tail to deliver with almost no items. And yeah, Shadow Demon,
he does,
and he does.
He
usually.
Really does,
like 8 times out of 10, but."
Big Daddy.
Yeah, he's got a lot of weight on his shoulders here. He will be in full ward bitch mode this game, sadly.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I mean, it looks like Dog might actually just go for this Dragon Knight again. I mean, they banned out the OD and the Invoker, the last 2. So they're setting up for the last pick, and we'll see if they actually decide to go for it. Because, I mean, they already have the Luna. They have good push. And I think the Dragon Knight just really complements their lineup completely overall. But they can really go for almost anything here, because Luna is a great solo carry. Even though, I mean, he's going to be versus, of course, a Furion and a Mirana, but overall, Luna can stand his own versus that, but he has to be very careful. I think they should pick up like a semi-carry at least.
And the OD ban does kind of suggest a Dragon Knight type hero, someone who just would get destroyed by OD 1v1.
Yeah, exactly.
There's also other heroes that can fill a similar role. We were talking about Beastmaster last night. I think the hero still viable, but nobody wants to run him. Yeah, Dragon Knight's just like
it's just so
he's
nice.
just better. Like he transitions better. You can be a carry if your team needs it. You could be more of a frontline hero, and he's got a spammable roar.
Yeah,
doesn't go through BKB, but
and
so what?
I played with those guys too. I know how much they love the Dragon Knight, and overall, like, it's the same thing. It's just the mentality. I guess, like, it's just the mentality of China too. I mean, Brax absolutely loves the hero. He was within China with Pycat and Misery, and yeah, look at that. They
it's actually really funny because you've got Pycat and Misery who had the LGDN experience, and then on the other side of the world, you've got Brax as well as 1437, and they've taken a lot from the Chinese scene. They prioritize getting gems earlier. They prioritize. I'm sure you can speak even more to this for the guys on NAR, but they seem to be very crisp in their decision making. It's like, okay, here's our next objective. We're going to focus on that. Not too much hesitation about it. And heroes that are just very solid at applying pressure. Dragon Knight, a big one. The tempo controllers that just give you a stable presence in team fights. It is very Chinese.
It is. And you know what? I completely agree with everything that you're saying. Like, they really did, all these players that went to China, they really learned so much. It's not just about the way that China plays. It's just the way that they think. You know, this Dragon Knight overall, okay, he's going to lose his lane, but no matter what happens, if that Dragon Knight hits 6 and you don't do the rotations properly, your tower is either going to die or it's going to be super pressured and then all over the place. They don't even have to help him. They don't have to bring any help to that mid lane because Dragon Knight does all that on his own. So, yeah, really good pick there from Dog, and it looks like Fnatic didn't see it coming for some reason.
Yeah, they banned Puck, which wouldn't have been bad this game, but it feels like the DK is just a more
I mean, especially after
they needed someone in the front lines anyway.
After the Invoker ban and the OD ban, it was really strange for them to just ban out a Puck. I really thought they would be banning out the DK from Dog, but
I guess to be fair, OD especially can destroy Puck. Invoker not so much, but
we haven't. I guess you know what? They're probably a little bit scared because you know it's Fada that does play.
That's true. It
is
the Fada
an amazing Puck.
And the last time I saw Fada go Puck, he had like a Dagon 5 at 30 minutes.
He always has a Dagon 5 at whatever minute. I mean, I mean, honestly, I know Fly is probably drafting him, but No-Tail does have. Oh wow, we do see the Razor. So this is something Fnatic does a lot. You know what? They see DK picked up, and they just save their hero mid for the last pick, and they either pick a Viper or a Razor, and they put a ton of pressure on that DK. So that actually makes it really hard for Dragon Knight because Razor is just such a lane dominating hero.
He's gonna get crushed until he hits level 6.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Let's see if he lives until that point.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and like I was saying before, I mean, playing as a support, you want to ban out the Puck from Fada because, like, playing a support versus a player that just loves to rush that Dagon, you're just like, oh my god, I'm dead. Like, I contributed nothing in this team fight. Yeah. I just die every single time. So I can't really blame them for that. But Fnatic does have a bit of a greedy lineup here. They do have the Enigma, like we were saying before. It's a lot of heavy farming heroes.
The main issue I have for Fnatic is just their mid-game pacing. Like, who's going to start fights? How do they fight pickoffs? They have a very strong push. They have potentially a ton of right-click damage in the mid-game engagements. They could crush their lanes, but mainly the Razor going mid against DK, but like, what do they do after that? Last game we saw Dog. It seems like Dog or Mousesports in general really prioritize good initiation. We saw them going for the Tidehunter for MSS last game. We see a Batrider and a DK this game. They also had the DK last game for Fada. So they always prioritize good mid-game teamfight and initiation. And Fnatic, they have Enigma, but that's very unreliable. And outside of that, where's their lockdown? Where's their crowd control?
And just overall looking at the Enigma, I'm pretty sure that hero's been losing almost all of his games. He's had a really hard time these past couple patches. He's been picked, but he ends up losing all these games. And yeah, Mouse is going into the enemy jungle. They want to get some wards down. They want Batrider to be able to get good experience.
They've got a losing beam here. No-Tail thinks he's starting the fight, and he might be with this arrow. It comes in, connects on MSS. Pycat marches forward. It's going to be a 10-man fight at level 1. Fly's the first one to fall. They keep him alive for the time being. Now Trixie retreating out. They could bring down No-Tail here. He's heading to the north side. Pycat might die as well. Down to one right click. He salved up. He dodged it. There's a heal available for Pos, I believe, as he continues his own retreat. MSS has respawned. The fight's not done yet. He's going to come roaring back in. Just kidding. He's only got Firefly. He's just going to run away. But Trixie gets tossed back. Then the disruption comes. The arrow will fly once again. It actually hits the bat. MSS could die twice before the
Oh my god.
Indeed, he does. It's okay, though. It's okay.
Pos picked him up. And Pos he actually ended up getting Trixie in the back. And he gets a TP Graves, and he's going to TP out.
Arrow still cooling down for 3 seconds.
Really well played there by Pos. Just seeing the opportunity, but
the Batrider died twice before the creep spawn.
I don't understand why the hell you wouldn't go static link. I can understand why you'd go the plasma field to just hit as many heroes as much damage as possible, but he would have had max static link on almost any of those heroes. If he just static linked the Luna there, I think the entire engagement would have been completely Fnatic's favor. And we did see, I mean, Enigma did not want to go Malefice, which I can't blame him.
Did he skill it before the fight, or did he skill it during the fight?
I think it was right before the fight. It was really weird. I mean, he probably did more damage with the plasma field because he hit a lot of heroes, but Static Link would have dominated that team fight. And the only reason that Dog actually ended up doing so well, because Batrider caught the arrow and died basically instantly, was because of the Luna Aura. It just made everybody hit so hard, and Fly ran in kind of crazy. He ran into just spawn Eidolons on the tree instead of just right-clicking or anything. So, bit of a missed position there from Fly, and he ended up giving the first blood to Mouse. So, this aggressive tri-lane is going to really work out for them.
That was just such a weird fight.
That was so odd.
Like, Fnatic has a very weak level 1 lineup. Razor, if he's dealing a bunch of damage, can be fearsome, but Prophet's quite useless there, Enigma's quite useless there, and then you have heroes like Dragon Knight and Batrider who do nothing. Few amazing heroes on each team for level 1 engagements, but, well, in the end...
I think Fnatic's level 1 was actually better by a good amount, just because of the arrow. The Shadow,
because of the
disrupt arrow,
yeah.
And, like, if he'd... I swear, like, if he'd got Static Link, I'm pretty sure he would have killed, like, 3 people on his own. He would have been hitting for, like, a monster.
Or, I guess at best, Dog just runs away.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, whatever. Mistakes were made a little bit, but...
This is... Dog one of the few teams that like to do this, though, and I want to pick your brain on it. They run a ton of aggressive tri-lanes, and most teams don't seem to like them in this patch too much.
Yeah, I mean, when I was playing with them, actually, we used to talk about it a lot, and we'd be like, it's not worth it a lot of the time to do these aggressive tri-lanes. But if you see a lot of greed coming out of another team, just do it. There's no point in not doing it because you're gaining nothing from not doing that. Like, they have this Enigma pick, so they can just put so much pressure on this bottom. And as we see, Murano only has 2 CS, and he can't walk up. He can get a couple last hits, but he's going to take so much damage from the Luna Aura and all the heroes on Dog's team. And they're over-leveled after this level 1 engagement. This Dazzle's almost level 3 at the 2-minute mark in an aggressive tri-lane.
And Big Daddy is not having any of it. He's like, please stay away from me. I just want to get these pulls off. The Enigma should be okay, though. It looks like Dog aren't actually going to go that deep in the jungle to punish him. Fly hits level 3, and I suppose if they're not getting kills, he shows up around level 5, level 6, buys a smoke, something Fly often will do on his Enigma. Could just black hole and completely wipe the tri-lane.
I actually didn't even get to see where... I saw Mouse, they used one of their obs, but it got countered somewhere, and I didn't really notice it, actually.
Yeah,
I guess it must have been the...
it
was the
right
cliff
here.
ward, okay. So it was going for the rune, but they did expend both sentries for it, so, and I think Dog spotted it out. So they just put down a sentry, they blocked the pole camp, and that just benefits their tri-lane so much more, because now No-Tail's got nowhere to get levels, and he walks up too far, No-Tail's a free kill.
Yeah, you Lucent Beam him, you get off the lift, he's dead.
Yep.
And it's pretty long-range initiation with that Lucent Beam as well, so... No-Tail trying to farm his boots. That is the thing he wants the most right now. Anything to keep him out of Charm's way. The other good thing for Fnatic is, as long as they don't give up a bunch of kills, Prophet hits level 6, Enigma buys the smoke, this tri-lane's going to have to back off. Yeah, I think that's the time where we see Dog either go for a smoke gank mid, just rotate off the aggressive tri-lane, or just play ultra safe.
And you know what's really scary for Dog is... okay, yeah, they have this great aggressive tri-lane, and they did actually end up countering the lane ward as well for Fnatic.
Really nice warding. It
looks like Fly wants to get involved really, really early, and Trixie is insanely over-leveled. He's almost level 6 on this Furion.
Yeah, the Prophet could join the fight any second. Pycat's actually going in, but Fly comes in as well. The arrow's not going to connect. It's a bit late for that, and Pycat retreating out. Oh, if that arrow hits, it's an easy kill. They still might get it, though, as Pycat drops quite low. No, it won't come.
That was teamwork right there. Pycat was just, oh my god, my buddy's in trouble. And he Lucent beamed the bottom as the arrow was going off during the disruption, so he stopped it. So that was really well played by him there. He saved Misery's life. He almost ended up falling for it, but he didn't, and now it's a huge benefit for them. But MSS is going to have such a rough game. He's got his levels up, but he already died twice, so Trixie's just going to bully him so much in this top lane, and he's going to be level 6 on Furion.
And now he's got phase boots and the magic stick, so lane's basically over for Bat in terms of winning it. He can get his levels, can go jungle, but we'll see another disruption bottom lane. Out comes the Eidolons. No Malefice and no arrow either, so he'll just retreat.
We see the ping, ping, ping.
This is still decent for Dog, though. They're forcing Enigma to lane, and Enigma wants to be in the jungle.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, he's still doing perfectly fine. He's a little bit underleveled. Like most people say, as an Enigma, you want to have the same level as your mid solo, and he just got stomped by the Centaur there. But a little bit of slowdown there. But you know what? He's gonna end up being okay. He's gonna catch up really quickly because that's what the hero does overall. And then I mean, we haven't really looked at the mid-lane matchup. We were talking about how much Razor stomps DK, but I mean, 23-12. 23-12 on the Razor is not really that great. I mean, DK's got 17 CS. He's finding what he can, but that's what DK does. That's the beauty of it. You just bottle crawl constantly and just spam your flame breath, and there's nothing really a hero can do to push you out.
Again, it goes back to game 1 where Dog had Mouse had kind of a draft that didn't have to win the laning stage, could still win later on. DK's that kind of hero. You lose the lane, doesn't matter, as long as you don't lose it too horribly bad. And the pressure's on the Razor, who's done a nice job so far. He is winning the lane, but what does he do with that in the mid game? That is going to be the pressing question for Fnatic.
And now, you know what, the Dog understand. They can just see, you know what, this aggressive tri lane, it worked out okay in the beginning, but it's too risky at this point. Fury on 6. We gotta just get levels on our other heroes. They rotate Pyke at top, and they rotate Misery toward the mid lane, which I think Misery jumped the gun a little bit on rotating toward that mid lane, because Fada, they usually want to rotate as soon as that Dragon Knight hits 6, so they can try to potentially get a kill.
But he's not 6.
And now he does get the 6, so they're gonna probably put a little bit of pressure on that mid lane.
Looks like there will be a haster, and Batrider's gonna pick that up.
He's got his lasso now too.
Can they actually kill this Razor? Hasted Bat is pretty scary. He's
But
heading top
it
lane.
purges it. Remember that. If you lasso that Razor, it purges
Oh,
it.
yeah, he's got the
and he's gonna just go for top right now. Yeah, he won point in. Trixie's gonna get gone on it. That should be Trixie's death.
That's the much easier kill. And Trixie, great start, but it'll go down. And now, bottom lane, the pressure will mount there. Looks like they've gone in for a defensive lift. As Paz tanks some auto attacks. Will he fall down here to the Soul Catcher? No, he should be okay. But, yeah, that's just Dog getting a lucky rune there in the haste. But I like their rotations, going back to just not sitting in the tri lane with 3. That would be ultra risky. A lot of teams just go aggressive tri lane and feel like they have to stay in the lane, but you really don't. You go aggressive tri lane, you slow down their jungler. Prophet gets close to level 6, just leave the lane.
Yeah,
go rotate.
Yeah, and you can get your Pycat getting engaged on. He was a little bit out of position there. He was kind of just
actually
really far
out of position. But
and Trixie doing something that I think he's one of the only players that does gets the Orb of Venom on the Furon. It's almost every game.
Do you think that's a good build, or?
I mean, I can understand the logic of it versus like a Batrider, but it's kind of just a waste of gold. I feel like it's
so cheap that ultimately it probably won't cost you. But hey, it delays your Midas a minute or two, and maybe that delays your next item, something like a mech, which can make the difference.
I think, but honestly though, like that Orb of Venom versus the matchup is already a little bit in Furon's favor if the Batrider doesn't know what he's doing entirely, if he doesn't just play it perfect. So, I mean, that Orb of Venom probably just gives him a little bit of leeway. He really just crushes that lane overall. And we did see what ended up happening. I mean, MSS died twice, like we said in the beginning, so he was really...
He was also, probably just looking to snowball the lane after the 2 deaths on the bat.
Yep, exactly.
And that's where just a great adjustment for Mouse. They're not going to require him to go against that. He can just go woods and farm up the stacks, and that's what he's been doing.
This is the one thing I really hate about aggressive tri lanes, especially with the hero like Luna, is he's got nothing. He's got his treads and his Bassi, but he's poor. He's really, really poor. He can't really run into these team fights at all at this point. He's got his 6, but yeah, he's broke.
He does have a lot of protection, at least. Disruption is, or sorry, not Disruption. The Grave is there for him to heal as well. And Dragon Knight and Bat should be the heroes in the front lines with the Blink Dagger, Dragon Knight just walking in and right-clicking. But Luna's going to need to play catch-up. End of the day, she won't be doing a ton for the next, I'd say, 5 to 10 minutes. It's Bat who's getting a blink soon, and Dragon Knight who's probably going to go towards the mech or the BKB, who will be controlling the tempo for Dog.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? The ugly part is that now, Paz can't really run around and make space for his team at all. He has to he's going to have to sit just right behind Pycat this entire time. And he's actually so underfarmed on the Dazzle as well. He's got level 5, but he's got a TP scroll. He's naked.
0 CS.
This poor guy.
I thought Big Daddy would be the poor one, but he's got 5 CS, man. He's balling.
Yeah, he's
doing boots.
He's doing good, man. He likes these no stat items too. I've been seeing it in a lot of these games. He just goes for his boots ASAP, and he gets his magic stick, and then he just runs around the map trying to make space for his team. So I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, like you were saying before, he has 4 farmers on his team. He's got to be the one to just run around and be like, "We need to do stuff, guys." Big Daddy coming through.
The good news for Fnatic, Mech is coming soon on the Enigma. Prophet will probably working towards the Midas, sitting on 1400 gold. No, Shadowblade Rush from Trixie.
Wow.
Whoa.
Interesting there. I mean,
we don't see Shadowblade much, period, and we almost never see it rushed. Like, if you go Shadowblade, I'd say 95% of the time there's a Midas first.
And I mean, man, I don't see why he wouldn't go for the Midas. I mean, sure, Lothar, and they do actually go for 5-man smoke here, but overall, just Lothar just doesn't really do much. I mean, I don't really like having a Furin on my team versus a Batrider. Like, Batrider just takes a fat shit on Furion, to be fair, honestly. I mean, you don't even need to expend your lasso majority of the time. You just chase him down with the Firefly and your
stickies. As soon as he TPs, you flame break
and then you can lasso him afterwards, if you even need to. But for the most part, you can just chase him down. And yeah, Fnatic wants to bring the action. They know how underfarmed Pycat is. They know what they need to do.
I believe they have the mech right now in the Enigma, and well, Pycat gets caught in the trees, but he eats his way out of the Sprout. He'll be okay. Now the turnaround comes. Fada looking for Trixie. In comes the reinforcements. They don't actually have the mech. The Eclipse comes through, and they get the 1 kill. Now looking for more. Fada's on the hunt. Oh, the mech's been delivered. Okay, there you go. gonna say it was very odd timing from Fnatic otherwise, but they do in fact have it. Still though, Fly gets focused to start this fight. Now possibly disrupted. They've lassoed No Tail, isolating the Shadow Demon, but a lot of damage being stolen by Fada, or from Fada, and Hani is just gonna go hard in this fight. Slaps him down with the whip. We'll lose No Tail on the backside of the fight.
Oh, but it's worth it though. I mean,
if they had the mech when that fight started, it would have been a much more convincing win for Fnatic.
Not only if they had the mech, if they were just more together. I mean, I feel like Trixie just like jumped the gun. He just ran at them, and he ended up getting caught out for it.
Here
oh my god,
that Orb of Venom. Trixie doing work with the right clicks. Pycat one more. The Sprout's there to set it up. Trixie gets the kill. Nicely played. Now Misery being dove under the tower. Fnatic are diving the tier 2 before the tier 1's even fallen. We're only 11 minutes in, and Misery, Pos both getting run down. A few more right clicks will spell doom for Misery, and with all that stolen damage, it's just one more slash. No, make it 2, but he's got Plasma Field to secure it, and Fnatic, really nice timing from them. Getting the mech and just diving towers left, right, and center.
And really, I mean, just pointing out Hani's build overall, if you click on him, he only has level 1 in that static link. So you'd be thinking he'd be leveling a lot more, and I think he should probably have 1 or 2 more levels of it. But at the same time, Unstable Current versus the lineup of Dog, those heroes all have their single target. And that Purge, people really underestimate how much damage it does, how much it adds up, and how much the slow duration. I mean, once you have it maxed, 2 seconds slow. So Batrider goes and he lassos that Razor, he's not moving. He's just chilling there.
Even if you get a Force Staff, it's like you Force Staff and then you just sit there,
sitting there. And they have the Shadow Demon to get the disruptions like I was saying before, so.
Don't really want to Poison touch him. Yeah, it's
honestly,
scary.
This is really heavily in favor of Fnatic at this point, because Pycat, like I was saying before, he's got nothing. And they're just keeping the pressure on him. I'm pretty sure they're just going to follow him around the map. And now we do see them porting bottom. They don't want to lose any towers.
They will steal something from Trixie here. That's the teleport. In comes the Flame Break as well. Then they lasso No Tail once again, but a nice arrow. Another nice one from Era. Ice just bringing down Fada. All his damage stolen. He will fall. And it's a Shadow Demon for a Dragon Knight at the end. An awful trade for Team Mousesports.
Uh-oh. Era, are you stuck in those trees? I think he is. Condolences. Oh, he's pinging his teammate. He's like, please, get me out of here.
Hani summoning all the creeps to try and help Era, but
at least he's getting experience, right?
Yeah.
Yep, sad face. Poor Era.
Sad face indeed.
But yeah, taking a look at the way, just overall the way that Dog, the wards that they placed, they put really defensive wards. They put a ward behind this bottom tier 1 tower, so it looks like they want to keep bringing the action to that short lane. But I mean, they just have so little farm on their heroes that need it. I mean, Dragon Knight has had a really rough game, of course, because he was versus the Razor, and he's just got Tread's Bracer Bottle on this DK, so he can't really do too much. Of course, his DK ult form, does a lot to towers, but if Fnatic just responds properly, I feel like this is completely their game at this point.
And contrary to the Dota 2 tutorial, this Razor's actually matched up quite well against Dragon Knight.
Oh man, Dota 2 tutorial.
The tutorial lies.
I've never played the tutorial.
What?
Not
really?
Once, man.
Oh come on, you gotta see what the young whippersnappers are dealing with.
Oh god, please no.
The jungle's been invaded though. I think the biggest thing that went Fnatic's way over the past 10 minutes is taking the tier 1 top. Because Pycat, you mentioned he's poor. His jungle's not safe anymore.
Not even just the tier 1. They got both those towers.
Yeah,
they went nuts.
And the tier 2.
Yeah, they went nuts. They just dove and they were like, we're getting all this. And Fly is massive. Look at it. He's got the highest creep score in the game. He's got Arcane Boots, so for this team. He's got his Greedy Soul Ring. And then he's got his mech already, and he's on his way to his BKB. He doesn't
Meanwhile, bottom lane looks like they're going to chase and look for some kills. They'll isolate Era, lifting him back up, dropping him down, and the Mirana kill is a big one. They do blow an Eclipse for that.
Oh, beautiful
and then the arrow stolen by Misery comes through, making the plays. Suddenly, Mouse find a double kill. That was just a great play.
Much needed kills. And now they're going to pressure this bottom tower. They should be able to get it, but at the same time, they need to watch out because Fly and Trix can probably take down that tier 2 mid tower just as fast as they can take that tier 1
And they want to defend, too.
And they want to defend, yeah. So Hani ports right down there instantly. And he still only has that level 1
Enigma's in the river. It looks like he's duking out a bit right now with Batrider. MSS could cancel this TP. Oh, Flame Break him. No Enigma for this fight. They might try to go in on Hani, but look at the purge from the unstable
2 seconds, man. People really overlook it.
He gets sprouted. He'll just go for the immediate TP out. No tells here. He almost falls. Not quite able to get the kill. They continue to work on Fly, but even with this lasso, he's just too tanky. Pops the mech.
Oh, he stopped his hole.
Oh, he got pulled in.
That was such a nice flame break there by MSS.
That's so unfortunate. Literally the second he goes for it.
As he was casting it, the flame break hit him literally instantly. I don't even think it was a 0-second black hole. Beautifully done by MSS, but they ended up losing their Rubik anyway. So a little bit strange by Dog. They were all over the place. They canceled the Enigma TP, but they can't take those towers. They can't fight at this point. Fnatic's just so much stronger.
Yeah, they have 4 of the top farmers this game. They are very far ahead right now.
Yeah, they're doing really, really well for themselves. And taking a look at the goal graph, I mean, it's almost 8,000 in the favor of Fnatic now at this point, and quite a decent amount of experience, about 4,000 going their way as well. And we do see the Razor picking up his Ag Scepter already, so that's a really early Ags on that Razor. So Hani's playing really well, and you know what?
Enter beast mode. This Razor is unstoppable.
I mean, I don't know. Plasma Field does a ton of damage. It really does. I feel like the Static Link would have probably netted him a couple kills, but I don't disagree with his build. I mean, I think Unstable Current is really overlooked. People just don't understand how powerful that spell really is. And versus a lineup like Dogs, those are all heroes that have single target spells that it's going to be constantly beefing down or hitting down that Razor, and he's going to be slowing everybody, and it does a lot of damage. It adds up.
Yeah, it's definitely a situational build depending on what heroes you're up against, but like you said, Dog, so many single target abilities, and well, Razor here you don't want to be standing around for a long time in the fights, but here
Both
comes
teams
the wraparound. Fnatic breaking the high ground here as they move through the bottom lane, and they'll find the initiation here on Fada to start things off. The Dragon Knight's been isolated. Then back goes in. He actually catches out No-Tail. Again, MSS on point with these initiations, but he just gets slowed down. Now kited, forced to retreat out, and Hani is diving deep behind enemy lines looking for pickoffs, stealing some damage from Fada. Won't actually get any kills here, but...
Oh, and Misery steals a Mirana ulti, which is really nice, because I don't think Fnatic has much reveal. Yeah,
so they have the Clips is cooled down. They could look to take this fight. They'll go in for it. Hani, though, still alive, tanking it up, unwinds with the Plasma Field, and brings everybody low. A clip from Pycat. He's really thinking of this one through, and while he's busy doing it, he's been graved. That's what they were waiting for. Mousesports just outlasting Fnatic, a team that seems perfectly geared, tailor-made to take long fights, but they can't do it. Now Hani on the run. Will they get him here? Fada still chasing, maybe overextending. The Malefice will bring him down, it looks like. About to die to these Eidolons, so they at least kill off Hani. They're not going to do that either. Oh, they could have just settled for the even trade.
And that still ended up going in favor of Fnatic, I'm pretty sure. Like,
I feel like Dog played that fight so much better, but they're just...
It's just not enough.
Too far behind.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean...
They could have just stopped. They thought they had a really important kill there, but...
Yeah, I mean, looking at the teamfight recap, just beautiful teamfight recap, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know, man. I really like it. It's amazing. It really is. But yeah, it went in favor of Fnatic by a little bit. I mean, not the biggest jump. They had to blow a couple ultis and everything, but overall, they can just keep putting the pressure on, too. Like, Luna is getting constantly ran at, so he's not able to make any space at all. And they decided to re-engage on that Razor, and he didn't even end up dying there. So, I mean, Hani's just playing really well. He's so tanky. I mean, and like I was saying, the Unstable Current, like, I think it did about 1,000 or more damage in that team fight, because everybody was blowing their spells on him, and you can just see, it's like, oh my god, Misery lifts him and fade bolts him, and it's like, holy shit, he just took 250 damage from just casting his own spells.
The thing is, Dog are not that mobile, and that's where Razor excels.
Absolutely.
Like, they don't have a hero like a Morphling, they don't have the Wisp from last game, no Mirana, they have a Batrider with Blink. Everyone else is fairly immobile, and that's where you're likely to be near the Razor, taking Unstable Current damage. They can't split push that quickly, so they're forced to fight. So the Razor pick, as the game pushes forward, feels just like an amazing pick.
Yeah, and I feel like it was a good idea for Dog to go aggressive, but with the way that level 1 engagement just turned out, the Furion was like almost level 3 after the engagement, so it didn't end up working out in their favor. So, but Fnatic, they're not going to be able to breach this high ground at this point. They have really good spammable spells on Dog. They have the Rubik Fade Bolt, they have the Dragon's Breath, and they do have the Dazzle Heal as well on top of that. They're going to keep trying, but it's a futile effort. There's no way that they can go up that hill.
Meanwhile, top lane, there's some split push from Pycat, but Trixie's there once again with the Sprout. No TP out available. No tail, actually out of mana right now, but just pops him with the poison demonic purge.
Yeah, and I mean, Pycat's just trying to make space. He's trying to push that tower. I mean, he's not. I mean, he's kind of out of position there, but at the same time, that's what he needs to be trying to do. He needs to try to do anything.
If he doesn't put pressure on lanes, Fnatic just death ball at the tier 2 mid.
Exactly.
And then they come for the Roche, and then for the high ground.
And something you really don't see too much is all 3 tier 1s are still up on the side of Fnatic.
And there's no tree.
And
thank God
there's no tree. Yeah, thank God
there's
no tree. But yeah, they're playing versus a Dragon Knight, and the Dragon Knight's just unable to do anything because of how hard he was shut down in mid. And he's on his way to a BKB, but what does BKB really do for him this game?
Even once he gets it, he can be purged, Black Hold, linked, Razor ult's still going to affect him. It's
yeah, absolutely.
A borderline, not useless item, but I mean, almost.
What else is he really going to go?
I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. There's still some spells to block here.
Maybe we'll see.
Arrow.
Maybe there's a Halberd. He could go for Halberd. It's not too bad.
Yeah, would be nice against Razor, but I'm expecting we'll see a BKB soon.
Yeah, he definitely needs it. Yeah, it looks like Fnatic gathering up. I don't know if they're gonna go for. Oh, they're doing some, you know, little bit of cheating, as we would say. Passing the bottle over, refilling it every single time people TP at towers.
Yeah, that should not work.
Yeah.
How's that not been fixed yet? Anyway?
I don't know. A lot of teams do. I mean, we've even done it as well. A lot of
hey,
times.
It's in the game.
It's in the game.
You
I mean, you might as well
it.
take advantage, especially when you have a wisp. It's just, you know, bottles are just such a good item. And yeah, now they're going to be able to pressure this tier 2, and I don't see Dog having any way of responding to this.
Razor ult gets dropped, and they'll start the siege. This tower is not long for this world.
Yeah, this poor tower.
Can Dog defend high ground? At this point is the question.
I mean, they just have such good heroes for it. They can set up the Firefly if they need to. I mean, MSS's Firefly is actually down, but they have the Flame Breath plus the Rubik Fade Wall plus the Shadow Wave if there's creeps there. So I think so. I don't think that Fnatic is in much of a rush either at this point because they do have Furan for the split push. Enigma is enormous. Like, he's gonna have he's got his BKB.
He's the third most farmed hero. He's barely behind the Prophet.
Yeah, and I mean, we haven't even looked at Era. His creep score is actually really low, but his farm is pretty decent. I mean, he's got his treads, he's got his Maelstrom up, so he's gonna be dealing out a good amount of damage, and he does have a DD bottle.
And Mjolnir will be very filthy this game. Razor's already doing a lot of work, and now even more reasons not to target him. You put the Mjolnir buff on him, but he cannot be ignored at this stage of the game. This Razor hits too hard.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, and he's getting away with everything he wants at this point. He just picked up phase boots too, and he can. I don't really know what build Hani will do because you know. Hani's one of those players that
it's Hani.
He could go anything.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's very creative with his item builds.
He could literally do anything. I mean, I think he'll probably go for either like BKB or like a refresher. Maybe we'll see. But we do see it looks like a desperation smoke coming out for Mouse.
Well, guys, if he goes refresher, may I suggest busting out the sunglasses and protecting your eyes, because that is the closest thing to an epileptic seizure in Dota 2.
It's quite a light show.
Yeah, it really light show's the perfect phrase.
Yeah, you're just like, oh my god, what did you say? I'm dead. I just took so much damage. I don't even know what happened. I'm blinded.
Yes.
So obnoxious.
And then Mjolnir on top of that, which I imagine is coming soon for the Mirana.
Yeah, we do see. Okay, so we see the bottom ulti coming out. Trixie just poured it into the jungle there and then ports mid. Okay, that was weird, but whatever.
Very systematic play from Fnatic. They take all the outer towers and now they're going Roche.
Yeah.
And they're so far ahead that they against Batrider on the Radiant side, they're just not afraid to do this.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't really look like Dog even knows anything's happening because they did use the Mirana ulti to get into the pit.
Yeah, even if they did, I don't know if Dog would fight. They don't have the BKB on Luna yet. The Dragon Knight, even if he has BKB, it's not very scary at this stage. And back jumps in, he goes for the Blink Lasso Force, but who's following that up?
Yeah,
nothing,
exactly.
really.
And now Hani's got the Aegis too, so he's unkillable. He really is unkillable at this point. And Fly has a BKB and Mac and everything on him as well. So
if you lose the Aegis, do you keep the stolen link damage? Do you know?
I don't think you keep the stolen link damage. I'm 100% sure that the Eye of the Storm does continue though.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that's like a Death Prophet ult basically. Not quite as much damage, but still a real pain.
Yeah, even when you're dead, it just keeps hitting people too. It's just like if you run near to the dead body of the Razor. So it's pretty nice.
Where's that Yule Scepter Razor at, man?
Oh god, gross. Oh, the range creeps. They do get the tower secured. No denying
that
it
is
for Fnatic.
Desperately needed bone for this dog. I gotta say.
Absolutely. And we do see Pycat picking up his BKB, but like I've been saying like a couple times, I mean, he's got nothing really. I mean, okay, he's got his BKB at 23 minutes. It's not the latest, but he's only level 11.
His farm speed is slow, and with no outer towers, there's really nowhere safe to go. Yep. And the other thing is, Prophet soon enough will have a Hex, and then Prophet could probably solo kill him. Drop the ult on a creep wave across the map, Shadow Blade in, right-click him, Hex him, he's probably dead.
MSS is setting up the defense top with the Firefly, and although MSS had a kind of rough start, he's doing well. I mean, he's got 4 deaths and only those, 4 kills and only those 2 deaths from the beginning of the game, so he's doing what he can, but he really just can't engage on anybody. Who the hell is he gonna lasso? He can blink in and lasso a Shadow Demon, but I think that they might actually be able to take this building, the buildings here. They might go for the racks.
Here comes the Lightning in game 2 of this best of 5. Fnatic are striking back. They will lasso Hani. They pull him deep behind enemy lines, and actually he gets defensively disrupted here. He's still quite far back, but lasso's down. Fada's on the run. The BKB will be deployed, but to what end? To what avail? He's been graved a little bit early, and looks like he still goes down.
168. So Hani's going to be hitting like an absolute truck right now. He's got the plus 168.
He's very low, though.
Yeah, he is.
We'll lift up Era. Era actually gets caught. He will be going down here. One more right click follows him through the leap, and he will fall.
What the hell?
They actually didn't lose anyone, and they defend high ground.
Fnatic just... They played that really wrong. They ran way too far in. I don't know why they didn't just, you know...
And they got spread out. Like, 3 heroes were still top, 2 are running, like, all the way around through the middle lane, and then trying to exit the base from the mid-ramp.
It was really well played by Postal. That Grave actually baited all of Fnatic to just, instead of focusing on the tower and getting netting that, and probably actually getting the racks at that point, they pulled down and they kept chasing the Dragon Knight, and they ended up losing Arrow because of it. So, really well played there by Mouse.
He used it what looked to be very early, and I think Fnatic saw them and were like, okay, he's the Grave too early. We can just wait this out, chase him, and then get the kill anyway. But, well, it actually turned out to be perfect bait.
Yeah, it really was, and now it looks like they're gonna. Mouse is gonna back up and go for a smoke opportunity. And yeah, we see them drawing lines all over the map. They see them in the jungle. They really want to go try to seize the opportunity.
They have really good vision, considering they have 0 tier 2 towers at this point.
Yeah, they just have completely defensive wards at this point. They even warded with their mid lane just so they can see what's going on too.
Yeah, it shows you the lack of map control, but they have spotted out a few heroes moving through their jungle. Pycat will be in the front lines, has the Eclipse up, Lasso's is ready as well, and Dog is a pack of 5. Well, now they're spreading out a bit. Pycat wants to go in, but the rest of the team sounds the retreat. This smoke gank, not a success.
And wow, I mean,
it's pretty obvious, to be fair. Like, there's creeps hitting the base top, and nobody's defending.
Exactly, and I didn't even actually point it out, but Misery got his Blink Dagger pretty early. He has a lot of creeps. He has a lot of creeps, dude. 56 creep score on that Rubik already?
How many does the Luna have?
I don't even know. He's not too much. He's only got...
He's got half the creeps.
Yeah, he's got half the creep score to the Luna. So, and he's got basically... Arrow only has 65. Rubik has 56 creep score. So, Misery's doing really well for himself right now. He ended up getting his Blink Dagger very early, which could end up, you know, if the Black Hole's used and he can seize an opportunity, it's going to be big.
I like the Medallion a lot this game. They have a Razor. Dog have gone for 2 BKBs as their core items, and...
He really likes that item, which I don't even...
I think this game it's really good, because last game they had a lot of magic damage, but this game they have right-click and there's 2 BKBs, so now Razor can just go hard. Again, the initiation, but this time, I don't know if it's enough. Fly, dropping low, he doesn't get off the Black Hole, he dies first. Now Hani's being focused. Great jump in from the Bat Rider, and now they lose the Razor once, but do they lose him a second time? He's still healthy. The BKB on Fado will, and he keeps on getting zapped by this lightning.
Minus 11 armor on that Dragon Knight too, so he has to be a little bit careful because he's going to start getting hit pretty hard.
Oh, Trick TP gets canceled. Oh, he won't be coming back at full HP. Great pick getting Enigma to start that fight. Without that, they just get crushed.
And now they're just chasing. They might actually be able to get a couple kills out of this.
Well, Fnatic on the retreat out. Trixie gets off a nice defensive ground sprout here, helping to buy some time for his team, but No Tail's the man in trouble. Runs down the river.
Get out of there, Big Daddy.
Just a bit out of range.
Big Daddy, no.
Big Daddy running like a small daddy right now,
yeah,
I gotta say.
Is.
Oh, that's a little far to dive, Dog. I think you're not. They'll back off now.
But you know what?
No Tail comes in.
Big Daddy, big misplay. Right there. He put, instead of putting his Enigma under there, he put the Bat Rider under. He would have saved Fly there, and Fly had his BKB and his mech. He didn't get anything off in that team fight, so I think that was a big misplay there from No-Tail. We see Trixie porting him very aggressively to 5 heroes.
Full ROTK mode engaged.
Holy hell. I mean, ROTK, and it's a Trixie move. I mean, we see him do that a couple times, but yeah, they give away a couple kills, and that's really good for Dog, but still at this point, Fnatic's still doing very well for themselves. They're still about 12,000 gold lead, and I mean, Hani is insanely farmed. He's almost got 5,000 gold on him.
Fogged, the old, I guess, measurement or rough barometer that LGD used to have was you have to be 20k gold up with the Aegis to break the base in Chinese Dota. Do you think Fnatic are far enough ahead to break the base?
I mean,
they did take a tier 3.
Yeah, they just did pretty good. And I think that that fight would have gone completely in their favor if No-Tail just disrupted his Enigma. And he did. Yeah. He got the disrupt off, but he just cast it on the Bat Rider for some reason. So either it was a misclick or just a complete misplay. And I'm pretty sure he was getting yelled at for that one. I mean, Fly was probably like, why the hell wouldn't you disrupt me? Like, what are you doing? But
what's your problem, man?
Yeah, he's like, come on, bro. Like,
come on, bro.
But yeah, like, either way, Mouse did benefit from that, but at the same time, Pycat just still has nothing. He's just got his BKB, and he can't even pressure lanes. He's got to port back. They got to just secure defending their racks.
And I like this from Fnatic. They are not going to let off the pressure. Their lineup so far ahead and so strong at this stage of the game still goes pretty late, but Dog are the ones who just haven't hit their power curve yet. BKBs and that's it. And now they pop the Eye of the Storm again. Hani charges in, starts slashing away at the racks. They'll focus actually
instantly.
The Razor, and well, he just pops BKB after the disruption. Starts going deep. Looks for pause. These are going to be a few pickoffs. Dog have lost 2. They'll buy back on the Dazzle, but they've already lost the range racks. The melee likely to fall soon as well. They will retreat.
There's 2 buyouts. They're going to back up.
Buyback.
Yeah, that's a good move by them there. And I don't even think Razor was forced to... Oh, no, he did end up popping the BKB there. But see, No-Tail right there, that was the right move. He was right on point with it. He got it instantly. He got the disrupt off as the Bat Rider was going in. And not only just that, the Bat Rider grabbed the Razor. So he was slow for 2 seconds right after that. And then he got disrupted, or purged.
He also just force-staffed forward into
he did.
Fnatic. I thought they had offensive force-staffed him, but no, I guess he just was facing their own way.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, a little bit manly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think MSS is... I love his play overall. I've said it multiple times. He's a great player, but I actually think his Bat Rider is probably one of his worst heroes. And he's not even doing bad this game at all. I just think that he does so much more with other heroes. He really does.
Well, that's a very strong pick, but it depends, like you said, on whether or not it's the best choice for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we saw Dog was banning a lot of Darkseer. I think it's 2 games in a row now they've banned it versus Fnatic. That's actually a great MSS hero, which...
It is.
They had a second pick this game. It was a first overall pick, Mirana. I guess they don't want to risk giving that away to Fnatic, but last game they could have taken it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Darkseer overall, though, like, he's just... What a hero that is. Like, the team fights are just so disastrous.
Imagine if they... As strong as Batrider is in fighting pickoffs, imagine if they had Darkseer right now. I feel Fnatic would not be so confident at going high ground against the Vac wall.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you can't really say that because he's not in the game. So.
Yeah.
But, no, I completely agree with you. I mean, overall, Darkseer is just...
Thanks. Thanks, yeah.
You're an idiot.
You can't say that. It's
but
about
Fnatic...
theory crafting, man.
No,
Jeez.
man. No, dude, he's not in the game, man.
Jesus.
Completely different. Oh, and if they had
No,
Phoenix,
it would have been a totally different game.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. But, yeah, and Fnatic is just doing what they should be doing. They're just keeping the pressure up. They got the Blink Dagger on the Enigma, too, so they need to watch out for the holes. And we actually have seen 0 black holes this game, except for, the insta-cancel.
And he has BKB and Shadow Demon backing him up, but I think this is the time. If Dog fight, and they get the disruption off on the Enigma, there will be a black hole. And in comes Fada. He's been hexed up by Trixie immediately. Then his damage stolen. He tanks the Purge. He pops BKB, gets off a grave, but that's purely a defensive BKB on Dragon Knight. Now the Batrider driven back. With no BKB on Dragon Knight, there's no way to defend this Rax. Although they are missing... oh no, there's your glyph, but...
Razor's hitting hard.
Razor's
a lot of damage.
Brings down, chunks through the melee Rex, retreats out, and... Well,
looking grim.
They know they can't engage. They're just like, yeah, we're not fighting that. Well, we'll sack this Rax. But then Fnatic will say, great, we'll just heal, go for the second lane.
Yeah, they're just going to back up and do the same exact thing over and over. And I mean, just again, looking at the net worth and everything and the gold for Fnatic, they're just getting toward that 20,000 gold lead that you're saying. And Roshan should be spawning within the next couple minutes as well. About a minute, I think.
Yeah, they didn't even need the 20,000 gold lead. Like, it seemed like just 10k was more than sufficient.
Yeah, now Mouse actually is just deciding, you know what, we need to get the Rosh. They smoked up. Either they're going to go for the Rosh or they're going to run to the enemy jungle. And this is just a YOLO smoke at this point. And unfortunately for them, the Rosh is not quite there yet. It's got another 30 seconds.
It's really close, too. This is like the worst possible timing. The smoke will end, and Fnatic will be back in position to try and fight. They'll make their way through to the high ground. Top lane is pushing in as well, and very soon the Radiant team's going to know that there's something up. Something's amiss. Nobody's defending the top lane.
And overall, I mean, Fnatic is just a good team. They stick together no matter what. They like to just have 5 heroes around each other. They don't want people to get picked off, except for Trixie. Except for Trixie. Trixie just YOLO porns in sometimes. I love Trixie. I love the way he plays, honestly, too. He's super aggressive. He makes a lot of space on the map, even though he's a little bit crazy.
It's a little bit crazy.
A little bit.
Here he comes. He's shadow blading, and that's the thing is this Luna has no space because of Trixie.
Oh man, and Misery might actually get caught out here.
And he's got a Blink Dagger. How quickly will he react? Not quickly enough. The Trixie finds him, sprouts him up. No blink for you, sir. Down he goes.
And I know exactly what I would say if I was in Misery's position there. I'd be like, what the hell's he even doing there? Why would he even go check there? But I mean, Misery...
Trixie.
Yeah, exactly. But Misery did have the time to blink out and TP. He could have just TP'd instantly, but I guess he was trying to, stall a little bit more. He probably wanted to cut another creep wave or something, so I can't really blame him for that, but he does end up getting picked off, and now Fnatic's going to seize the opportunity.
You have to go for those plays when you're in this position.
Absolutely.
Dog are not going to win up a straight-up game unless Fnatic just start feeding to Fountain or Tier 4, so they have to stall the game, basically resort to, like, I'd call it even Miracle Dota, just that really ratty split push, annoying style, try and find couriers, go for smoke ganks. Basically, don't take real fights.
Yeah.
Which, well, unfortunately, Fnatic are going to take Aegis and then go for some real fights.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess that's just, I guess maybe the Medallion is just for the Roshan for the most part, but a lot of people overlook how great Medallion is overall. I mean, versus Dragon Knight, it makes him have a lot less armor, so, he actually is a little bit squishier.
Yeah. Roach dropping pretty fast here. The Aegis does go to the Razor.
Oh, Fada got arrowed. Are they going to be able to engage on this?
He's got a BKB. There's a Soul Catcher follow. Then they get off the Hex. He's been 4-step back by the Batrider. MSS trying to keep his buddy alive, but Fada already dropping low. He pops BKB. He's still going to melt. Now they last to Enigma, but there's nothing backing this up. MSS will die as well.
I think the GGs are going to come out right here.
GG any minute.
It's got to be GG very, very soon, because there's no way they can even defend now. The Firefly isn't there to defend the... No, yeah, there it is. So, I think the overall draft did go to Fnatic there. And, oh, wow. Fly with his YOLO hole. The first hole of the game.
That is the first black hole of the game.
It's the second, technically. But, I mean,
yeah.
he
technically, you at the 0.0 second
the 0.0 second black hole was there, but, yeah.
It really goes to show that Enigma is strong for stuff beyond the black hole.
It's the presence of it. It really is. Like, even majority of the times in a lot of games, you don't really see huge black holes until maybe like one big team fight. But it's just, you're afraid the whole time.
Enigma
like,
BKBs and he walks in and you just run the hell away if you don't have something to
exactly.
deal with him. And they definitely did not. So, well, we've got ourselves a ball game, Fob.
Yeah, that was
tied
quite
up 1-1.
I love watching level 1 engagements like that, honestly. It's just like,
so
oh my god, who's winning this? Oh my god, look at this. Like, what the hell's going on?
Heroes are dying.
Everything's dying.
But it is now a 1-1 score. Best of 5 series. So going into game 3, do you feel it's like just coming down to the draft for these two teams? Felt like game 1, Fnatic's draft was a little too one-dimensional. This game felt like Dog's lanes were just too weak.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that Dog's, their draft was actually really good, but them going for that aggressive tri-lane, it really didn't end up working out for them at all. They did rotate it very, very early, but it just wasn't really enough. The Furan was just, they were so over-leveled after that level 1 engagement, they couldn't really do anything, and Pycat just got so underfarmed. He couldn't do anything, and that's what ends up happening. If your aggressive tri-lane does not go perfectly, and you have your carry in that lane, then he's like their only carry. I mean, yeah, Dragon Knight's a decent semi-carry and everything, but you need that Luna to be very, very
The other thing was their two solos couldn't really take advantage of an aggressive tri-lane. Like, imagine if they had the Nature's Prophet safe lane, he's got phase boots, he TPs in. They're not just finding a kill or two, or at least slowing down the Mirana. They can pressure tower, they can get kills of their own, they can take over the enemy jungle. And they were running Dragon Knight mid too, who, unless he gets a Lucky Rune, is just going to sit mid and just get wrecked by Razor. So
I did agree with Mouse's idea to go for the aggressive tri lane, but maybe not after the level 1 engagement. They should have just been like, you know what, let's chill. We've got this late game.
Okay. Well, guys, that was game number 2. This is a best of 5. You're watching the Summit Europe, powered by Twitch. I'm LD. He's Fogged. We'll be right back.